And we are live. Hello everyone. Welcome to the latest edition of the Mia Connect Power Chat, the weekend edition. Today it's going to be about wearing multiple hats like this. So I'm hoping my panel starts putting some hats on using Google Effects. Actually, that would be a really good idea to do that. But before I get going, I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I've got a co-host. I've got Mr. David Oldenburg, who decided he wanted to come on and be a co-host with me. My brother, thank you.
Hey Mia, what's up, man? It's awesome to be here. And you know what? My weekend HOA cherry just got popped. I've never done one before.
And that goes with this sound. Because we're so excited
awesome
for you.
To be here.
I did not know that, actually. I'm kind of excited to be your first on that one.
This is my very first weekend HOA ever, man. I've been in the audience on a couple of your weekend shows.
Yes, sir.
But this is the first time, and it's totally cool because so many people that cannot watch my show on Fridays say, if you ever do a weekend show, I'll watch. So here's my thing. Where are you people?
Yeah, party people. I want everybody to start shouting out David that love him. And tell us real quick where you are and what you do.
Well, I'm in Sacramento. Actually, I'm in Granite Bay, California, kind of near Sacramento. Right now, it's raining. We need the rain really, really bad. I use natural lighting for my show. I use no lights, so I probably look a little bit darker today than normal.
I say no. I go with that one.
Yeah, I'm a white boy. So it's like totally dark outside right now in front of me.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna. Do you want me to actually do the little thing? Are we gonna wait to talk about what we do?
You know what? Yeah, we'll do that. I just wanted to get my little thing there. Good question, though. David does wear multiple. I'd like for you to put on a little bit of a hat, please, while we're talking to you.
Go ahead.
In the Google Fits. We've got David does wear multiple hats. He does the online money show, and then you've got a bunch of other things going on. So we're going to get into that as well. But thank you for being on that one today. I am really excited that I can do both hats with tiara and the hard hat. That actually makes my world really happy.
And it looks great because look, Mia Voss is like right under the tiara. It's perfect.
Well, what we were joking about in the green room is this hat gets stolen frequently, or it has been stolen before. So now you can see I actually write my name in the hat, so nobody steals it on a job site because it is kind of actually badass. So I'm loving that. So real quick, I want to thank my continuing sponsor, which is Edge Ad Exchange. If you're looking for great web traffic, go to edgeadexchange.com. Thanks for the big love from them. Let me see if I can get a little sound effect going. Love those guys. And then I'm going to go to some comments. So we've got, hi Yassine. He's wearing multiple hats. He may be wearing some shared experiences this as well. He's out of France. We love him. This is using our Twitter tracker. Coach Hop 24, Austin Hop, drinking coffee, eating fruit bagels, getting ready for Ed Camp St. Louis. Get your learn on. Thank you, darling. Hey, Stan Bush. If you're back crap crazy about the Mia crew, it's about to get started. Look at him. Who doesn't love Stan Bush, by the way? Everybody raise your hand if you know who he is. He is awesome sauce. Let's see what else we've got. Look at Wade Harmon. Love David Oldenburg. Super fun on the show with him the other day. So, hey, Wade. And then we've got Mark Seidel. Hello, Lansfields. BFAM. I don't know what that is, but I bet it's really good, just so you know. And then Brother Lance, also known as Felicia. Hello, darling. Welcome. And everybody is here today. So, I'm going to do the David thing. I'm going to get it stuck here. Watch it. Did you do that the other day, David? I got stuck on your face. That sounds weird. David Oldenburg. Oh, you're muted, brother.
Okay, I was muted. Yeah, you did. Mia totally hijacked my show for like 10 minutes. That was the only thing that people could see was your comment. Now, I'm talking. It was like, oh my gosh, how do I get Mia out of my show?
And speaking of wearing multiple hats, that's the tough thing. You guys know that anybody that does an HOA show, that was the day that Google decided it was not going to make any of the comments opaque, and so everything was transparent, and a lot of us were like having to hold up a piece of paper to do that, so it's always something. So listen, I'm going to get right into this because we have got a full panel today. Just to tell you a quick backstory of how we came up with this idea about wearing multiple hats is I had posted a picture of a job site, and Chris, am I saying your name right, by the way?
It's close enough. Cloutier, actually.
Oh man, who guessed that one? Not me.
Nobody.
Nobody at all. So Chris and I were. Chris commented on a job site post that a picture that I posted, and I said, you know what? I think we need to do a show about. We've all got this persona on Google Plus, but a lot of us are doing a lot of different stuff. So I'm going to start with you, Chris. Let's talk about you, and welcome to the show, Chris Cloutier. Tell us about you, darling.
I'm just glad to be here. First of all, thank you. I really am. I watch all you guys all the time, so it's quite nerve-wracking to be sitting here with you. But
you're doing good, darling.
Yeah, I seen your picture there, and it reminded me. I haven't done construction work in a few years, but it just reminded me of it. And then you brought up the mini hats thing, and then I think everybody got to thinking at that point. So it was fun, all
right. Tell me about your hats besides Cat in the Hat, brother.
Well, I'm a single dad, and he's 13 years old, and I've had him by myself since he was 1.5 years. So that's like 3 hats right there. And, yeah. And I have some clients I do some SEO for and some writing like that.
You got your show too.
Oh yeah. I do the Fresh Coffee Show every Thursday with a buddy of mine, Nathaniel Brennis, and we talk about affiliate marketing and stuff like that. And then I have my blog. It's kind of a personal blog, talks about affiliate marketing and content marketing, SEO, all that stuff. And that's at Media Fresh Press. And beyond that, I play music. I do a little bit of everything.
I love it. And that is a ton of hats. I love that. And hi, Nathaniel, because he's awesome too. So let's give a shout out to your brother for that too. So that's about 7 hats. So we should keep a hat count. Mom, dad, dad to that, playing music, doing the whole thing. So thank you for being on the show with us today, sweetie. I really appreciate it.
No, I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Next up, I'm going to go to Craig Chamberlain because he may not be around for long depending on what's going on. Hey, Brother Craig, welcome to the show.
Hi, Mia. How's it going?
Hey.
My daughter here.
Hi, girlfriend.
She wants to wear the hat. She keeps fighting me about wearing the hat. She's jealous. Because apparently only one person's allowed to wear a hat at any given time.
That is correct. You literally are going to have to duck down and just put her up because Bob Voss does it to me all the time too. Or just put there. Exactly.
Higher?
Well, no, that's actually looking pretty good. Oh, now it's staying on. Oh.
Okay, I think we're good.
All right, tell us about your hats, my brother.
I always a common phrase I toss around is I am the master of nothing, doer of everything.
I think that's pretty prevalent here on the Plus.
Pretty much do spread myself so thin that I don't really do anything right, and I'm actually working on that.
Me too.
For the most part is dad first, content creator. As you know, I do the Craig the Tech Teacher.
Yep.
That's my new brand for my weekly show for the Hangout on Air where I answer tech questions. And I'm working with Chris on the Craig and Chris show where we have a lot more fun talking about video games and doing gameplays. And in the real world, I have a full-time job, don't sleep. And
yeah. And you know what? Because I've seen you. So you do this show every morning, and I know a couple of people have given you a hard time of like, dude, why is it up so early? And you're like, because I've got to go. Like literally, I can tell you're grabbing your keys as you're hitting end broadcast.
Yeah, because I have to
heading out the door, right?
I cut down once a week because of that. So now I just do 1 a week show just because my show is suffering as far as quality was concerned because I spent so much time. Just generating content, not marketing it, not working with it. And that's kind of one of the things for your viewers out there. If they're thinking about doing the show, it's very easy to bite off more than you can chew, especially if you love doing it. That's one of the biggest problems I run into regularly is I'm like, I'm going to do a show once a day. And then I realized 2 months later that I haven't marketed one of my videos. So yeah, when something is fresh, something else is dusty, right? Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, big time. Look at girlfriend, absolutely. All right, I'm gonna head on over. I'm so glad you guys. That's what we were joking and giving Craig a hard time is that he's wearing so many hats. He's like, I can't do the show. But you got one baby asleep, right? Yep, I love it.
Yeah, I have my youngest. Once he wakes up, I'm gonna have to run.
I got you. Yeah, if he drops out, then we're gonna know why. Thank you, my brother, for joining us. Next, I have Aaron Wood, who, hi, Aaron. How are you, dear?
Good. How are you, Mia?
It's good to see you. Hold on. So Aaron, I think Aaron and I got connected through Christine, and then I was like, dude, I think you need to come on my show and talk about your hats, because then he also has brought with him some handiwork when he's wearing your what? Your knitting hat, is that correct?
Yeah, I do know how to knit, so I've knit multiple things. So
Damn.
my Red Sox scarf and
Oh.
all sorts of stuff. I haven't actually knit anything in quite a while, but because I hate it. I hate knitting.
You do?
But the thing is the payoff. So
Yes.
the process is terrible, but when you're done, you get something that you can wear or give as a gift.
And are you guys noticing his Etsy shop? Because it is just one scarf, right?
Yep, it is. It is. I got that name because of the knitting. So. Yeah.
Can I just tell you, I actually knit as well, and I was knitting a lot for my friends, but they would call it the wine scarf, because the scarves would go like this. So you know what I'm saying? They'd be like, oh, that's when Mia had some drinks. You could tell when she was knitting.
Loosened up a little bit on your stitches, yeah.
Exactly. I got a little crazy with that. Hey, tell us about what you do and what hats are you wearing?
Well, I put on a new hat back last year around July. I became a freelance graphic designer. Before that, I was working for a gift wrap company designing gift wrap. So I decided I'm going to move to Boston, the Boston area, and I'm going to just try to make my way doing my own thing. And it's worked so far. I can't complain about that. So yeah, I do all sorts of freelance graphic design. I do illustration. I've dabbled in animation before. So the only thing I don't really do is oil painting, because that's too messy. So different
Can't
forms
shoot
of
your
art.
battle.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So,
Okay, can I out you on one of your background things? Because a lot of us had a lot of hats that then we took off and decided to get to whatever this life is that's working for us right now, right?
Go for
So
it.
one of those lives involved something that's an L word, ends with an S. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I can. I actually, since I was real little, played with Lego, and so my mom said to me one day, this is when I was younger, she goes, you're always playing with Lego, you're not going to make a career out of it, and my first job out of college was with Lego. So I had the privilege of living near their Enfield, Connecticut plant, and got a job in their model shop, actually building those, those really big, tall Lego models that you see at fairs and stuff like that. And, so we got to work on all that kind of stuff. It was really cool.
Oh, how much are you guys nerding out right now, everybody else on the panel? Like, cause that shit's cool. Like,
I've got to throw this out here, Aaron.
Yeah.
I just saw the Lego movie last night. It was awesome.
Okay, I've been hearing good things, and I'm definitely going to go see it. People have asked me if I'm going to see it.
It was awesome.
I'm going tonight to go see that. So,
so good.
Totally nerding out, totally.
I'll drag my girlfriend to that tonight, I think. So.
I think everybody on the panel, we're all should cumulatively get our lunch money stolen right now. Because we just nerded out. And next, if we bring up Star Wars, it's going to be on and popping, but I don't want to break Google.
Mia, speaking of Star Wars and Lego, when I was working there, Episode 1 was coming out, and we got, Lego came out with Star Wars stuff. So we actually had like an 8-page contract we had to sign, an NDA from Lucas. Lucas representatives would come into the shop. So we got to see all these things, and one cool bragging right is I got to see Episode 1 before the Lucas employees got to see it, because they flew us a
bragging right.
They flew us a copy, and we got to watch it, and then they brought the copy back to the airport and flew it back to California for the Lucasfilm employees to watch later in the day. So
I wonder if they actually had the copy like sitting in its own little seatbelt in the car.
I'm sure.
On the plane, you know what I mean? Like here's Episode 1.
Temperature-controlled environment and everything.
You saw Jar Jar before everybody saw Jar Jar?
I did. I got to see Jar Jar before everyone got to see Jar Jar.
I'm so sorry.
I know. But you know what? At the
been...
time, it didn't set in. Like, I was just blown away that it was so awesome. And then after a while, people were like, this character was terrible, this part of the movie was terrible. Then it started to sink in a little bit, but it was still cool just to be there,
And you know what, I agree with you, because you guys think about that. We're going to continue to nerd out. From the time that Return of the Jedi, which came out in, 83. I'm going to say 83. Oh, who nerded out first?
I was in the theater seeing it, so yeah, okay. 83. Yeah.
And then Episode 1 came out when?
That was 99, I believe.
That's a big old time span for
It
us
is.
to be chomping at the bit and ready to go. And yes, at the time, I'm sure we were like, that's awesome. And then later on, I was like, what the F was that thing? So, all right, on that one, I won't get too off on that. You know, Ben, brother, and Aaron, thank you for coming on. I so appreciate it. And
Thanks
I
for
know we're
having
going to get on some other topics too. Brother Ben Fisher, welcome to the show.
Hey,
Yeah.
happy Fist
Oh,
Bump
that is
Saturday!
Yeah, it is Catter Day, and your headband. Tell us about you. Where are you out of, and what hats are you wearing, my brother?
Well, the reason I got the whole Google bandana thing is because, of course, I love the Googleverse. I mean, my entire business, or at least my primary business, is about Google, right? You know,
Yeah, you don't only drink the Kool-Aid; you eat the full meal.
I'm talking about. I've got like Kool-Aid flavored everything. You know,
Protein
I'm
powder.
sorry. Yeah, I took the red pill. You name it, I did it. You know, about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Google Plus beta tester, just like Aaron and a lot of people on this panel.
That's
And
right.
you know, when it comes to wearing many hats, I mean, when I saw that you put up the event about wearing many hats, I was like, oh snap! I need to show you my infographic resume, right?
You did, and for those of you, you actually did post it on there, and I do have pictures open because people are posting some good pictures of them wearing hats. But if you post junk, you're going to get the smackdown. You've been warned. There it is. Yes,
Yeah.
Go look into that infographic. Is kick-ass, Ben, and if anybody hasn't seen it, you need to go look at it. It's posted.
So when I left, I was the director of marketing over at cPanel, and I was coming back to Arizona, and I was just like, you know, it would be really kind of fun as I'm starting up, you know, getting back into my businesses to kind of just like lay out my entire history. Anybody that knows me and who has actually talked to me on a Hangout knows that I say, hey, you know, do you want the 15-minute version, the half-an-hour version, or the 2-hour version? You know, because I've done a lot of different things. You know, you were talking about, you know, being a, you know, you know, just.
Well, I'm an accidental entrepreneur.
I'm blooping out on that. Okay.
Mark Seidel, pay attention.
But you know, an expert at everything and not really, you know, like not a master. But
that's right. The
yeah.
jack of all trades, master of none. Amen.
Thank you, exactly. So, you know, me like Chris, I have the same exact problem. Produce a lot of content, not enough time to do anything with it. That was my biggest mistake with the whole Hulk Hogan HOA. I didn't have the time to repurpose the content. Sucks.
Oof. Who could raise their hand if everybody can relate to that one? I'm like, yeah,
you know,
we've all been like super busy. We got good stuff, good shiny.
Yeah.
But not enough time to really leverage it.
Exactly.
You know who called me out on that mostly?
Who's that?
Craig Fifield.
Yeah, hooker.
He's
right.
really good at kind of cutting through the. He's like I don't know what you do, and it's like, well, that's because I never really even sat down to brand myself. But it's true.
He's a guy that's got time. He's at home drinking or working out, going, oh, and then he's pointing stuff out. And that's right though. He's got a good eye for that kind of thing, for sure.
Yeah, he does.
So just really quickly to go through my kind of hats that I wear pretty much on a daily basis. I'm a dad. I've got a 22-year-old daughter. I'm a husband. I'm also a caretaker. My wife is disabled.
Right.
She actually doesn't have a left hip and goes through a lot of pain. So, you know, I have to be there for her constantly, all day long, doctor appointments, everything. You know, I'm a publisher. I own websites that are in the video game industry and also in the web hosting industry. I've run those for over 10 years.
And according to one of our Hangouts, you own 500, the rights to 500 domains, like most of us that buy a domain every 2 seconds.
That's a little bit of inflation, but it's about 250, I think, is what it is. I'm a domain speculator as well. That's something that I do. Yeah, actually, Mark Seidel and I were talking the other day. I own now HOAsponsors.com and HOA hosts. Sorry, Mark. No, but we're probably going to work together on something like that. You know, I've been a game developer. I've developed a board game, which I took and made into an iPhone game. You know, I'm a martial artist. I'm an internet marketer. I'm a speaker. I'm a co-host, actually, with Stefan's show, you know, the Small Biz Spotlight. Where I say I'm into juggling
Ben's hat just fell off. Can you guys all hear him?
On a project that I end up
Okay.
working on, I love to brainstorm. So I call that juggling lightning. You know,
Ah, who likes that one?
yes. And also, I'm a partner manager because, and those I call them my bears, okay? Because one of the things that I've learned in being an entrepreneur since 18 years old is that you've got to surround yourself with awesome people that complement your skill sets if you want to get stuff done. And that's what I've done is in all of my businesses, I've got partners that are better than me at something, and I just compliment them, they compliment me. So I wrestle bears. And that's what I say. I wrestle bears. So, and by the way, Aaron, complete congrats to you, brother, on going out and going ahead and doing the graphic design, illustration, and video. I mean, I outsource a ton of stuff. So we are probably going to be talking.
Sure thing. Yeah.
That, you know what, that is a good one, and I'm gonna boy, does that nice segue, Ben. Hello.
Thank you.
Is that, I think that's smooth taste. Don't let the smooth taste fool you with Ben Fisher, just so you know. But I'm going to turn that back over to my co-host because, David, we haven't had a chance to talk with you about all the hats that you're juggling, and then I want to hear your opinion about that, too, because I think this is one of the things, too, is learning your strengths.
Well, first off, Mia, I had to compliment my hat with your hat. So
yes, my brother.
Absolutely. I see my lower third is actually blocking part of it. You know, like Ben Fisher and a lot of the people here, and Mia, like yourself, and also something that Craig Chamberlain said that really resonated, and that is, Craig said, you know, I go out there, I do this great show, but then the show gets over, and I don't do all the stuff to market it. And that's one of the things that I'm guilty of. Maybe I don't do a great show, but I do the show, and then when I, get done with it,
I beg to differ, but keep going.
It's one of those things where, well, thank you, but I mean, it's one of those things where, I do my show, and I'm kind of just exhausted. As you know, I do the show, and then I spend, 2 hours talking to people after the show, and then it gets all done, and then I realize come Sunday that, wow, I should have shared that on Pinterest. I should have shared that on LinkedIn. I should have done this. I should have done that. And then it kind of gets to the point where you think to yourself, well, I can't really start promoting it now because I have to start ramping up for the next show.
It's like a whole week of shoulda.
Yeah, so I'm starting to get better at that, and I'm gonna have to start bringing some people on. So that's one thing I've got going on is the show. I have talked about launching a second show that is real estate and mortgage related. That's my primary industry for 23 years. Right now, I still own a real estate corporation in California. A real estate company corporation. I still am the branch manager of a mortgage company. I've scaled down a little bit. I used to have 50 paid employees. It's a little smaller now. I have done broadcasts for 20 years. So I've done some big radio shows. I've done video shows. I've done all kinds of shows. As I spoke to Ben Fisher the other day, we talked about this. I'm one of those guys. When I built my radio shows, I built them from the ground up myself. And that means I started out with no audience whatsoever, and I built them up. Yeah, built them up to huge audiences, built them up to Fortune 500 sponsors and all the other stuff. And so it's a huge undertaking. I'm trying to do that with the Online Money Show now. I think we're all trying to do that with our shows. Yep. But it's a slow process. And the thing I would reach out to all of us and to anyone else and say is that it takes about 2 years. It takes about 2 years of consistently doing a show with good content every single week before you get on the radar screen, before people really start to say, you know what, this person's not going away. And when sponsors realize that you're not going away, they all of a sudden want to put money into what you're doing.
And consistency, David, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you're keeping up with it and doing, even if you change your message a bit, don't you think that it's like if you're just at least consistently, like for me, started doing the show. I don't care. It was the social media power chat. Now it's the Mia Connect power chat, so I could open it up to more people who just weren't experts in social media and introduce them. But I'm with you on that. It really, they start to pay attention, right?
Yeah, and I just launched a new thing which I'm really excited about. I think I mentioned it one time on my show 2 weeks ago, and that is I just started writing a new book. In 2005, I wrote a book called Extreme Success. and that was turned into a DVD training course, sold in all 50 states, and did really well. I haven't written a book in 9 years, and so I'm writing a book. Just started. It's called Extreme Influence, and very excited about this book. It's going to be a book on how to basically create, maintain, grow, grow and maintain your influence. And I've got some big authors signing on. I can't, because of the contractual end of this, I can't name all the names of the people that are signing on to write this book, but I can tell you two of them. Rebecca Radice is writing one of the chapters.
Big girl crush. Hey now.
Yeah, she's writing a chapter on personal branding. Clarissa Silva, the behavioral scientist, is writing a chapter on the psychology of influence. And I've got some huge name people that are coming on to some of the most influential people in social media are coming on to write this book with me. So
that's awesome. Look at this comment. Yasin says, "Tell us what you haven't done with my
yeah, I'll wrap it up here, Mia, because I
love it. It's so true.
I literally could go on for days. The only other thing I'll mention is tons of other stuff I do. I won't get into it, but the only other thing I'm really proud of is I am married. I've been married for coming up on 19 years. And I have two wonderful children. I have a 17-year-old son who, thank God, he's driving now. And,
that's a relief.
And I don't have to take him everywhere. And my 14-year-old daughter. So now my 17-year-old son can drive my 14-year-old daughter some of the places.
I bet people with kids, it's so resonating with them, David, about how your life changes. And I don't have kids because Bob Voss, I guess he's just never going to drive.
Nice.
Man.
Unless he's like Toonces and he's already one-armed, so it's going to be
So David, let me throw this out here. You're saying that one day I will have to be there constantly.
Well, Craig, here's the thing, buddy.
Please encourage Brother Craig because he's dying.
I gotta tell this to you, Craig. I know you hear this from everybody that's old like me, but you gotta hear this because when my kids were in the stage that your kids are in, I felt like it was never gonna end. I just felt like I'd tell my wife, I'd say, "Oh my God, every time we go somewhere, it takes us 30 minutes to pack all the car seats and all the bags and everything else, and I just want my kids to get to that age where they can just jump in the car and seatbelt themselves in." Well, you know what? That happened, and that was last week, and now he's graduating from high school. It just goes by so damn fast.
I'm doing my best to enjoy it as much as I can because I hear the same thing from pretty much everybody who has kids. Is that so? But the multiple hats thing is kind of a cool thing, especially with the content creation, like you're saying, like you're spending all this time making all this content. And what really kind of resonated with me was this 80-20 rule, which a lot of people talk about. I don't know if you guys have obviously heard of it.
Pareto principle, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so for every 20% or 20% of your time spending on content creation, you should be spending 80%. So then I sat down after reading that and thinking about it, and I actually write down how many hours I was spending a week generating content. And I was like 10 to 15 hours, so I was like, okay, well then theoretically, I should be spending 50 to 80 hours marketing this.
Right? The math does not add up.
The math did not add up. So the only way I could make it physically possible, the only way physically possible was to produce less content. Because it's gotten so easy, especially with Hangouts and all the technology that's out there to generate content.
I got to say this, though, Craig. You are like... and that's why we kind of hooked up, is that I saw you out there and I thought, oh my gosh, this guy, and I mean I come from a radio background. I saw your show the first time on YouTube and I said, here's a guy doing an hour-long show every single day, Monday through Friday, and I thought, wow. I mean, talk about the energy. And then we talked on the phone and you said, well, no, Dave, on top of doing that show, I'm also working and I'm a dad and I'm a husband and I mean, you really must have a tremendous amount of energy to do what you're doing and then also do the marketing on top of that.
It comes down to the my back crap crazy, which is coffee.
We got a little bit
crazy about coffee. And the trick is when you love something, though, it's so easy to keep doing it. But the hard part is actually doing it right, which is not always doing 100% of the time the part you love.
Yeah, so I call that eating your
peas. That's the hard balance I've had to accept recently.
You know, one thing I would say is, Craig, is you should just create Team Chamberlain and have a group of people that work together with you that are really good at what they do. Have one person that's great at Pinterest, have one person that's great at video, you know, have just have one person that's great at Twitter, great at Facebook.
Look at this comment from Lainey, who agrees with you. Hi, Lainey. Love you, girl. Find people that compliment you. I always say surround yourself with people who are better than you, and especially better than you at the things you don't want to do, right?
Exactly.
Oh,
right.
absolutely.
So I should find somebody who does my laundry and washes dishes.
Get on it, brother. Come on now.
Yeah, but just to round that out, my point is that you focus on what you love, right? Because you focus on your passion. And if you allow other people to focus on their passion, it all becomes a nice win-win scenario. Cross-promote each other, that takes care of the whole kicking it off, virility, etc. I mean, it's really hard to find people that compliment you, but, you know, dude, I mean, I'm sure on Google Plus you probably already have a bunch of people in mind already. So,
well, it's my big thing has been how do I compensate them because
yes, that's the thing.
If you find somebody who's better than you at something, odds are they're getting paid a lot more than you can afford to pay them to do it.
Well, you know, Craig, let me give you some advice on that. What I would do is I would go for sponsorship. In other words, what I would do is I would say, because everybody here is trying to get promoted. I mean, no matter what, either you're trying to promote a show or a website or a blog, or everybody has something they're trying to promote here. And so what I would do is I would find people that would benefit from you promoting them with your audience. And I would say to them, you know, hey, I need a video guy. Well, I can't pay you right now because I don't have a lot of big sponsors, but, you know, I'll talk about you on my show, or each week when I show that video, I'll mention your name. Or whatever. I would try to get them business and promote them, which will help a lot.
And I'm gonna pop in real quick because it's the top of the hour, or the bottom of the hour. If you're just joining in, David, I'm gonna do what you do now, the bumper. You are on the Mia Connect Power Chat Weekend Edition. We're talking about wearing many hats. I've got Aaron Wood, Ben Fisher, Chris Clodier, and Craig Chamberlain joining us, and my special co-host David Oldenburg. And we are getting into the meat and nuts and bolts and dirt and grit about how to manage all this business, right, guys? Ben, keep it going, brother.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm getting free consultations here. It's kind of nice.
And the whole family thing really resonated with a lot of people in the crowd, by the way. So keep going, Ben.
So to round that out, let me give you some just practical experience that I've had personally in online publishing. So I've been doing online publishing since 1994. 4 years before Google came out, right? Running communities, building communities, having to do writing, and then having to make that really top of mind. Anyway, to back that up, I have a site called xblafans.com. It's a passion website. It doesn't make me a ton of money. I don't care because I love video gaming. It's how I relax. But with that, with that site, my partner John Laster, I found him actually. He was just going through college. All right, young guy, just getting started with. Starting going to college, but he was brilliant. I saw that he was like Mensa genius, you know. And I acquired the website he was basically donating his time to. Okay, so I bought that website just because I wanted him and the people that were following him. Now what we've done is since then is we've grown it into a full-fledged business. We've got over 40 contributors that work for our site for free, okay? Not only do they work for free, we deliver value to them because we get them into shows for free. We get them press passes. Like I go to E3 every single year. Sorry, everybody who's jealous about that.
I am.
I could get you in this year if you want to contribute, man. No, but seriously. So, you know, we've got director levels, review director levels, feature editors, you know, we've got a senior editor, and then me and my partner, we just sit back and we kind of do what we do, which is making connections. But they end this off with what's beautiful about that is we're elevating everybody that's on our staff. The first thing that we ask them after they get on board, sorry to dominate, Mia,
go, Ben, go.
But after they come on board is we say, where do you want to be in 5 years? What's your main goal? And how do you want to make money? And if they come back and they say, I want to work for IGN, Kotaku, The Verge, whatever, be a professional journalist, we help them get to that goal. And just last week, one of our guys who was our greatest guide developer ever. He would spend like 80 hours on a guide, just got hired full-time by IGN. So we put that onto our deck. So when we're recruiting people, we say, look at these successes. Look at these people who have gone to make full-time careers. This is why you should donate your time to us.
So you're backing it up. Yeah, you're backing it up with some clout of like, and here's what it's about. I'm not always, I mean, and you know, we always have to be careful of like that we want everybody's for profit, as I like to say. So, but if you choose to have that balance of trading that out, and then you've got this to offer, I'm loving it too. Hey, I'm gonna get Aaron and Chris on this one too, because I don't want you guys hanging out down there not saying anything, brother men, because I know you got something to. Go ahead.
Let me interject just for 1 second. I want to thank everybody, but I hear a screaming child upstairs.
Listen, we got you for 36 minutes. I'm pretty happy with you, my friend.
Have a wonderful day. Thank you. It was awesome being here. Thanks a lot, Mia and David and everybody.
You're welcome. Craig, go back and read the comments, because a lot of people are loving what you have to say.
Aaron,
Bye, my friends.
we'll have to fight later, buddy.
Sure thing.
By the bike racks at 3 o'clock.
Hook up with you later, Craig.
See you later,
Hey,
Craig.
Chris, jump in on that, my friend, because I know that you're juggling a lot, and I know you've got your team, you've got your show, you've got your son, you got the whole thing. Fill us in a little bit more on what's going on with you.
You know, I actually wanted to kind of on what David said a few minutes ago about how they grow up, man. I remember being at that stage too, where you're like, man, I got to carry all this stuff around, and I'm just ready for him to be self-sufficient a little bit.
Yeah.
And now that he is, it's like, man, why did I ever say that? It's like,
I'm that way every day.
He's like as big as I am, you know. It's like, they grow up so fast, man. And with what we do, you know, writing and stuff like that, we got to be creative. So we all know creativity sometimes just isn't there. So when it does start happening, you're like in that zone, and then they bust through the door and they gotta go somewhere. I gotta go get a black tie for my music thing. I forgot to tell you, like, man.
Oh man.
But I'm almost through with this article. So,
and I bet what Ben was saying
that's
too.
One of the things.
Yeah, what Ben was saying too, of like Ben's juggling a lot of that too, and then he's got people to help. Like, do you guys have that? Do you have sort of a team to rely on to help you manage that, Chris? Or is it just you? You're looking at it.
Just me.
Okay, brother, I hear you.
Yeah.
And I bet though I'm guessing though with you guys that people would want to join in, like the idea of like, hey, come and help our team. Look at what we offer. I'm wondering if that would be something that would work for you too, Chris, because you got some cool stuff going on, my brother.
Yeah, I think right now we're still just trying to grow everything and, you know, find our voice and things like that. But I think eventually, it's not going to be too much longer. I think we'll be able to have some people that are helping us, because we'll be able to help them. So, but right now I still think most of what I'm doing is still kind of growing.
Right.
There's so many people on G Plus that want to help. It's one of the things. I remember a couple months ago, I said on my show, I said, you know, hey, if anybody would like to help me with my show, I was actually amazed how many people responded and said, hey, we'd love to help. Now, the problem I had is that I didn't think it through. In other words, I went out there and just said, if you'd like to help me, you know, let me know. Well, then all these people said they want to help, and then I sat there thinking, well, what the hell do I want them to do? And so what I really had to do since then is kind of sit back and go, okay, what direction do I want the show to go? Who do I need to help, and what do they need to do? And I think I'm going to go back out here probably in the next couple months and try to recruit some help in.
And I'm going to, with that, David, I'm just going to click on, this is Andy Parker, is somebody that offered to help me. He's in the back scenes. This is his picture. And awesome. He's my Chewy. We are talking about that. What's the gal, the late night? Chelsea Handler's got a Chewy.
Yeah.
Like Andy's my Chewy that, I can always tell when he's cracking up in the background. But it has been great to just, to offer people help, but with that, I will say that's one thing that helps me, you guys, is having what I call process maps, because there is a crap ton of work that goes with the shows. And then, you know, somebody was asking me, Nazim wants to know real quick, regarding your hard hat, very unique. As some of you know, which is how that got started, I have a building inspection business that I run, and it died down a couple years ago and came back up with the economy. So when I'm not doing the show, I'm literally running and finishing and going and putting this bad boy on and bossing a bunch of men around.
That's
Hello.
too cool.
My world is complete. But
that is so cool. Mia, you know what I was thinking? It's 9:40. Yeah. I know you want to start wrapping up around 9:50 or so.
Yeah.
Let's talk, just at least for a couple of minutes, get everybody's opinion. Let's talk social media marketing world.
Yes, yeah, and then I would love that. So guys, as you know, you may have seen it come around with wearing a bunch of hats, but a couple of us have decided to band together and really get Google Plus represented at its social media marketing world. There's three of us here on this panel, so David, jump into that real quick.
Yeah, I don't want to steal the spotlight. There's three of us. I'll just say quickly, I'm very excited to be part of the HOA team. We did a video the other day. We started an Indiegogo campaign. What is the number at right now? 775 or?
I think it's at like 1,000. And let's talk about that too.
1,075.
How much?
Yeah.
1,075.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about that, of like why we would make an Indiegogo for something like this, and you know what's the sort of the story behind that. And then Aaron, don't think I'm not going to talk about you some more.
Oh, actually, I have something to weigh in about the Indiegogo thing, but I'll let you guys do your plugs first.
Okay, and then we're going to get you in on there.
Well, let me tie it in really quick to this entire discussion, because this entire discussion has all been about wearing many hats and working together, right? And so with the HOA team, right? You know, David, I'm going to let you and Mia go into the backstory of all that, but with that, you know. Me and Christine were talking about it. I'm sorry, I was about to get into history. Anyway, so at the end of the day, when we decided to actually all kick this thing off, we went into a chat basically, and everybody just started. We got into a collaborative Hangout. We started up a Google Doc. We started up dividing up tasks and deciding what needed to be done, also we could get to our goal. And basically, that was the division of labor based on our strengths and who we knew and who we could contact. And that made the entire process, literally, we were able to kick it off from beginning concept to execution in less than 48 hours.
Yeah. Well, that's because I'm with that. It's between Christine DeGraff and David Oldenburg and Ben. You couldn't be on more of a dream team than that. I'm just saying.
Oh, I don't know where Christine gets her energy. She did.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh my God.
She wears a ton of different hats, you guys. I mean, yeah. Don't you feel like everybody that's our influencers on here, we all get the same. They're like, where do you get the energy? When do you sleep? Right?
Well, and I get that all the time. People always say to me, how do you maintain that level of energy on your shows and everything you do? And you know, and I'm not going to go into my personal story, but I shared a story on Wade Harmon's show kind of about that.
You did, and it was great.
Some of the things going on in my life, but so if you want to see that, you can. But this whole campaign, for those of you that don't know anything about it, it's really a cool thing. And if you understand why we're doing this, first off, if you're here today, thank you. Thank you for coming to Mia's show. If you come to my show, thank you. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for plussing. You are a huge part of why people like us do these shows. But here's the thing. This is an opportunity for the hosts that do these shows and people that are involved in them to really give back. We don't have the ability to go out in the real world very often. We hide behind these cameras when we do these shows. But there's the social media marketing world event, and we came up with a great idea. Wouldn't it be awesome to go there and interview 10 of the most influential speakers at the event and broadcast those as live shows? Now, first off, how cool is that? Yeah. Secondly, a couple years ago, this couldn't even have been done because the technology didn't exist to do this type of thing. We're talking about going there, but it costs money to do this. And we're not going to profit a dime on this. We're just trying to get there. We've
already pitched in, actually.
Yeah, and we're putting our own money in.
We're all putting
yeah. You know, we're donating our time. We're donating 3 days of no productivity.
Yeah, it's gonna be so good. It's something we're willing to do. We love it.
I've got 2 corporations I run in California, and I'm walking away from those corporations for 3 days with no profit, no income, no nothing, just so that we can do this. And this is a benefit to all of us because this is really going to start bringing the reality out of what can be done with these HOAs. And I think if we do a good job of this, if we get down there, we do some good interviews, we do some good shows, we get some good audience size there, I think we're going to be on the radar screen. And people are going to look at these HOAs, these bigger sponsors and bigger businesses, and they're going to say, wow, there is real potential behind these things.
And when we say we, guys, and Chris, this is good for you and for any of us who are doing that. It's more about Google Plus because we're really finding that there's just not a presence at a lot of these events. I know we've kind of shocked people already with like the energy that's been put into it and the attention that's come to it already. With just saying we're all going to go out there and we're going to do Hangouts. So here's what I love too, you guys, is that everybody that's watching the show has been posting all the links that we're talking about. Hello. I mean, talk about teamwork and like we can't wear all the hats. So that's where everybody are participating as well. So the link is there, and yeah, I'm really excited about it. And I'm gonna because we're coming up on that too. Aaron, I want to hear you pipe in, my brother. And whoever's got the binging in the background, can you mute yourself?
I was going to say, you guys have that campaign running, to go to this convention. I do a ton of conventions. I used to do a ton of conventions. I ramped down for a while. Now I'm ramping back up, where I go and I sell my art and everything. And I was just talking to my girlfriend about this last night. I'd feel weird asking people to sponsor me to go to a convention because this is kind of my job. And it's like, hey, I need X amount of dollars to go to this thing, and people are like, well, you're going there to make money, why don't you spend your own money to do this? So I can see where you guys might even get some backlash, and hopefully you don't, but people who are like, well, this is what you're supposed to be doing, why are we paying you to go do what your job is? And that's why I kind of feel bad. Like, I could set up a PayPal account, or people, a lot of people are doing Patreon recently, for content creation and stuff like that. But it's that fine line between begging and sponsorship,
It's a tough one, and we love that sometimes shit gets real on this show, right, guys? Yeah. Because and Aaron, we appreciate that too. I actually had said that as well. So it's a little bit of a balance. We did choose to take the chance of alienating some people, which because we are contributing our time and our money, that's not my job. This HOA is my job, but so we're going to take it to the next level. But we appreciate that because even David, didn't that come up on your show yesterday with Neil Schaefer? Who, oh my God, do I have a business crush on him? Hello. All you guys, actually, I have a huge business crush on. But he kind of brought up sort of the yin and the yang, both sides of this topic as well. So, Aaron, I appreciate that. Because I have seen people do Indiegogos, and sometimes I want to do one that says, I want a new iPad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I did a Kickstarter. I've worn the Kickstarter hat and had a successful Kickstarter. And there
was it for knitting?
No, it was actually for my book. I did a book of my propaganda posters, and
which is cool, by the way. Please post that link. That stuff's cool. Yeah.
I will. But it's like you want to ask people for money, and then you will get people like these sponsors who will come out of nowhere and give you your top donation level and help you out, and then you get other people that are just like, who are you asking me for money, And I followed you for so long, so it's kind of like a double-edged sword where you gotta.
It is.
But let me point that. Hi, Brian. He paid as a give back for the insight he's gotten from the shows. Boom. That kind of nails it for a lot of us here. So we're willing to. Yeah. That's awesome. Everything's a balance. Boy, I do stuff 10 times a day that pisses somebody off.
Oh, and one more thing I gotta bring up, guys. You really, when you go to these events to do these things, these hangouts and everything, you're going to have a bad time because you are competing with so many people for Wi-Fi and internet access and everything. 10 to 1, unless you guys work something out. I'm sure you guys have thought about it, something with the convention center to make sure you have a dedicated Wi-Fi server or something that's going to get you a connection. I did a Rhode Island Comic Con last year, and I had to have somebody run outside of the convention center with my phone so a Square payment would go through.
Luckily, we have somebody named Ronnie Windsor with us.
Yeah,
we kind of had the Master Blaster with us on that one. So
yeah,
and
We thought about that.
Okay, good.
And no, and see, this is why I love it. I mean, it takes a village of this is what works and this is what doesn't work. I think we all have got that going on as well.
Yeah.
So, but no, Aaron, we really appreciate that, guys. We're going to come up at the top of the hour here in a little bit, so I want to do the back crap crazy. But Aaron and Chris, I definitely appreciate you guys being on here as well, bringing like all the stuff that all of you guys bringing all the stuff that you do to juggle your lives. Because Aaron, can you talk real quick about one other thing that you have in your life that's personal? Because I want to loop that in before we go to back crap crazy about some of the Ben, you talked about it with your family. Aaron, what do you have going on that you juggle with that?
Oh, I've got Ben brought up his wife. He's a caretaker for his wife. I actually just had my hip replaced, Ben, a few years back.
You had to one up him, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Well, I'll one up you on that. My wife's left hip broken. She has no left hip.
Yeah, that's where mine was going.
I'll see you a broken, and I'll give one left missing. That's right.
I'm a kidney transplant recipient, 2-time kidney transplant recipient. The first one didn't work out, but I spent 10 years on dialysis and powered through everything I needed to do. Got the call almost 12 years ago to get this kidney and took a chance, pulled the trigger, and it's worked out so far. But the steroids and everything, Ben, ruined my hip, and I would have. I was to the point where I'm only 42 years old, and no doctor wanted to operate on me. A, because I was too young, and B, because I'm a kidney transplant recipient. So I found a doctor who was a few years younger than I was, and he said, "You know what? Let's try it out." And I'm going on 3 years with that, and everything's worked out. But basically, one of the older doctors said to me, "You're going to lose your hip. We're going to have to cut it off. You're going to have to wear like a 12-inch lift in your shoe." And I said, "I can't do that. I am only 42 years old. I don't want to be at this point." So I went to this other doctor and said, "You have to do this. I can't do what I want to do in life." And I spent 10 years tied to a machine for dialysis. I want to get out there. I want to travel. I'm my own boss now. I can get up. I can drive places on the weekend. I can during the week too if I want. But it's just it's tough. But you got to do what you got to do to
make it
be
work.
happy. Exactly.
No, I love that. I love that. I think for all of us, I mean, Chris, with being a single dad, you don't hear that too much, where you've got the full responsibility of that too. And I'm sure your kid just thinks you're so cool with all the cool stuff you're doing, though, brother. Yeah, sometimes he does. Sometimes he don't, but sometimes he does. Right. I love it. Well, listen, guys, we've got about 8 minutes, and I know because we're all back crap crazy. We already have Craig Chamberlain's back crap crazy, which we all know is coffee. So I'm going to start actually with you, Chris. What are you back crap crazy about? And tell us your call to action too, darling.
I was going to say writing, but being as today is Saturday and tomorrow Walking Dead comes back on.
Oh yeah.
I can't even wait. Man. So that's
my back crap crazy just saying.
Oh, that's mine. I love it. I can't wait for it. My son loves it, so we're ready for that. Been chomping at the bit for that.
Yeah.
And other than that, you guys can come watch us on Thursdays, and you can see my blog at mediafreshpress.com.
Dig it, brother. And
thanks everybody here.
Thank you for coming on. And actually, I am probably going to start an event tomorrow that we can all comment on. For those of you who haven't watched The Walking Dead, it's literally taken me since when was the last episode? Was that in December?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's taken me that long just to be halfway ready to watch it again because I lost. Greg was in the other room. He's like, "You sound like a football fan." I was just losing my mind at it. So, I'm getting sweaty just thinking about it. All right, thank you for that, Chris. And please post your links here on the event, too, so everybody knows where to go find you. Sure. Absolutely. I'm going over to Aaron Wood now. My brother, tell us what your call to action is, and what are you back crap crazy about?
I'm back crap crazy about Lego. I love Lego. I work there. I collect it. People are like, "Well, you're 41 years old. What are you doing collecting Lego?" I love it. It's cool. You can sit down. It's kind of like a Zen moment when I spread all those pieces out, put something cool together, and so yeah, I love it. I love all my Lego stuffs.
What do you want us to do about you? Do you want us to buy a scarf? Do you want us to go?
I want you to buy my artwork and put me to work. There's a lot of people on Google Plus that need really good graphics for whatever, whether it's a book cover, whether
Yes,
it's a lower third or something. Put me to work for you. Get in touch with me. You can get in touch with me through my Etsy shop, which is down in my lower third, or you can send me a Google Plus message, or you can contact me on Facebook or wherever, and get in touch with me. We'll work something out for you.
This reminds me of help me help you, Jerry, right?
Absolutely.
Put me to work for you. And yeah, party people, go and check out his artwork because it is cool. I was just I was stalking you a little bit before the show started to air, and I was like, look at the cool stuff he's got going on. So yes, my brother, please post your link. Brother, Ben Fisher, darling, what do you want us to do, and what are you backcrap crazy about?
Well, let's say number one, I am just backcrap crazy over Aaron Wood. Okay.
Hey, boy crush.
So I'm sorry. Between the humor and between the graphic design and I'm
And his
sorry,
honesty,
between the Lego and the honesty and the stuff we have
And
in
the
common.
Star Wars.
And the Star Wars. Oh, of course, Star Wars. I'm sorry, Aaron. If we don't hook up, that's like just a major freaking shame, dude.
Yeah, definitely.
You guys just watch the romance happen just now.
I'm just saying. I also want to say I'm backcrap crazy.
I made a fan.
You made a fan. Oh man. No, and I'm also backcrap crazy actually over Dustin Stout right now because he just delivered to me an ad that we're going to be using, which is for my call to action.
Yes.
And my call to action is you see this domain name right here, Steady Demand. At the end of it, just add the word tool. Okay, there you'll be able to.
Tool.
Yes, I said I want everybody to play with my tool. Okay, I said it. Okay, so everybody play with my tool.
Play with Ben's tool. That's his call to action.
SteadyDemand.com/tool. It's Google Plus Insights, Analytics, and Actionable Results for Google Plus profiles and brand pages.
Yep. I use it. Party people, and anybody in the audience, if you are using Steady Demand, please give and I'm going to push you. I'm going to slug for you because that is an excellent tool. I love your tool.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you love my tool.
Thank you, darling.
As a gift to everybody, what I want to say is, if you sign up for the free trial, it's 14 days free. Use the code BRRR because it's freaking cold everywhere except for here in Phoenix. And you will get 6 months at 50% off.
Amen.
Okay. So it's
Sweet.
it's a risk-free trial. You'll see a return in the first 6 months, if not more.
And for those if you drink Google Plus Kool-Aid like we do, you need to have it. So I'm just saying, I get my little notifications. I get shamed by Steady Demand. You're not responding. That's the note. I mean, stuff like that. It is an awesome, awesome tool. I said tool. All right, I am going to close up with my brother, my co-host, David Oldenburg. Honey, thanks so much for coming on with me today.
Well, this is awesome. I know we're short on time, so I have 3 things I'm backcrap crazy about, Mia. The first one is you. You know what? It's so awesome. You invited me on to co-host the show with you today. Pop my weekend HOH cherry. I mean, it's I won't get into the whole. I won't get into the whole tool thing. But anyway, very backcrap crazy about you and me. You're doing some awesome things. I know we do a lot of work together. It's awesome. I'm backcrap crazy about the rain in California. Oh my gosh!
Right?
It's like we're gonna get like 2 to 4 inches of rain here in Sacramento over the next 48 hours. We need it so bad. We're like in severe drought right now. This is awesome. And lastly, I am backcrap crazy for every single fan that is watching right now or watching my show or any HOA show, because without you, there is no show. Thank you.
Nope.
And that's it. That's all I'm backcrap crazy about.
I love it. And what do you want us to do? You want us to go watch Online Money Show. We're going to post our Indiegogo. What else does that say? What those call to action?
Yeah, I mean, just basically, I say watch all the shows, support everybody. One thing I want to say real quick, Mia, and all of us put out these events, and people go there, and a lot of times they'll put maybe on an event, and then they might come back and watch it later, but then the host doesn't get credit for that. So the thing that I would say, because we're all trying to build up our audiences, and one of the things about building up our audiences is if we build up our audiences, we can get bigger sponsors, and then we don't need to do an Indiegogo campaign.
That's
and
right.
so what I would say is, if you get the event, if you think you might watch the show at some point, or you think it's a good topic, just RSVP with a yes. Give the host credit.
Good point.
Maybe you don't watch that show live. Maybe you watch it 2 weeks later. But support the host, support these shows. Let us get these audience sizes up, and really show people how powerful these HOAs are. And that's it, Mia.
Preach it, brother. That's a really good point. Just real quick, so everybody doesn't think it's about this money-hungry thing with the sponsor thing. What is great about us getting corporate sponsors or people paying attention to us is then they're going to pay attention to you. Let's say a corporate sponsor, he's going to be watching the thread, and one of you mentions, I really don't like this and this and this about this specific product. Guess what? That's an ear to the bigger people. So I'm just saying that's
Right.
what we're loving about building this grassroots way of reaching, of connecting to the people we love, our influencers. I'm preaching it now. That's all I got to say about that. So I am bat crap crazy about all the fellow HOA hosts. I love Chef Dennis. We've got Wade Harmon out there, my girl Christine, you, David, Eric Enga's doing a ton. Stan Bush just did one, David Leopold. We've got so many people out there that are putting out good products. So that's who I'm bat crap crazy about. Oh, and The Walking Dead. I'm just saying. So, guys, that's it. Thank you for joining me for the weekend edition of the Nia Connects Power Chat. Wearing many, many hats. And thank you for all the pictures and the comments. Next week I'm going to have, what am I going to be doing next week? It's going to be on Friday. Oh, Mark Trapp again and Eric Enga are coming on, and a bunch of other people. And we're going to be talking about the gender playing field here on Google+. Shit, make it real. It's going to be awesome. Considering the fact that I'm the lone woman on this show, there you have it. So that's it. Join me each week for the Nia Connects Power Chat. Thanks again to Aaron, Ben, Chris, David, and then Craig off to the side who's babysitting. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Thank you.
Talking to you.
Go ahead.
In
Now.
the Google Feds. We've got David does wear multiple hats. He's with he does the online money show, and then you've got a bunch of other things going on. So we're going to get into that as well. But thank you for being on that one today. I am really excited that I can do both hats with Tiara and the hard hat. That actually makes my world really happy.
And it looks great because look, Mia Voss is like right under the tiara. It's perfect.
Well, what we were joking about in the green room is this hat gets stolen frequently, or it has been stolen before. So now you can see I actually write my name in the hat, so nobody steals it on a job site, because it is kind of actually badass. So I'm loving that. So real quick, I want to thank my continuing sponsor, which is Edge at Exchange. If you're looking for great web traffic, go to edgeatexchange.com. Thanks for the big love from them. Let me see if I can get a little sound effect going. Love those guys. And then I'm going to go to some comments. So we've got, hi, Yassine. He's wearing multiple hats. He may be wearing some shared experiences this as well. He's out of France. We love him. This is using our Twitter tracker. Coach Hop 24, Austin Hop, drinking coffee, eating fruit bagels, getting ready for Ed Camp St. Louis. Get your learn on. Thank you, darling. Hey, Stan Bush. If you're back crap crazy about the Mia crew, it's about to get started. Look at him. Who doesn't love Stan Bush, by the way? Everybody raise your hand. If you know who he is. He is awesome sauce. Let's see what else we've got. Look at Wade Harmon. Love David Oldenburg. Super fun on the show with him the other day. So, hey, Wade. And then we've got Mark Seidel. Hello, Lansfields. BFAM. I don't know what that is, but I bet it's really good, just so you know. And then Brother Lance, also known as Felicia. Hello, darling. Welcome. And everybody is here today. So, and we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the latest edition of the Nia Connects Power Chat, the weekend edition. Today it's going to be about wearing multiple hats like this. So I'm hoping my panel starts putting some hats on using Google Effects, actually. That would be a really good idea to do that. But before I get going, I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I've got a co-host. I've got Mr. David Oldenburg, who decided he wanted to come on and be a co-host with me. My brother, thank you.
Hey, Mia, what's up, man? It's awesome to be here. And you know what? My weekend HOA cherry just got popped. I've never done one before.
And that goes with this sound. Because we're so excited
awesome
for you.
To be here.
I did not know that, actually. I'm kind of excited to be your first on that one.
This is my very first weekend HOA ever, man. I've been in the audience on a couple of your weekend shows.
Yes, sir.
But this is the first time, and it's totally cool because so many people that cannot watch my show on Fridays say if you ever do a weekend show, I'll watch. So here's my thing. Where are you people?
Yeah, party people. I want everybody to start shouting out David that love him. And tell us real quick where you are and what you do.
Well, I'm in Sacramento. Actually, I'm in Granite Bay, California, kind of near Sacramento. Right now, it's raining. We need the rain really, really bad. I use natural lighting for my show. I use no lights, so I probably look a little bit darker today than normal.
I say no.
I
go with that one.
Yeah, I'm a white boy, so it's like totally dark outside right now in front of me. I think we're gonna. Do you want me to actually do the little thing? That, are we gonna wait to talk about what we do?
You know what? Yeah, we'll do that. I just wanted to get my little thing there. Good question though. David does wear multiple. I'd like for you to put on a little bit of a hat, please, while we're talking. Exactly.
Higher?
Well, no, that's actually looking pretty good. Oh, now it's staying on. Oh.
Okay, I think we're good.
All right, tell us about your hats, my brother.
I always a common phrase I toss around is I am the master of nothing, doer of everything.
I think that's pretty prevalent here on the Plus.
Pretty much do spread myself so thin that I don't really do anything right, and I'm actually working on that. But
too.
For the most part is dad first, content creator. As you know, I do the Craig the Tech Teacher.
Yep.
That's my new brand for my weekly show for the Hangout on Air where I answer tech questions. And I'm working with Chris on the Craig and Chris show where we have a lot more fun talking about video games and doing gameplays. And in the real world, I have a full-time job, don't sleep. And
yeah. And you know what? Because I've seen you, so you do this show every morning, and I know a couple of people have given you a hard time of like, dude, why is it up so early? And you're like, because I've got to go. Like literally, I can tell you're grabbing your keys as you're hitting end broadcast.
Yeah, because I have
heading out the door, right?
I cut down once a week because of that. So now I just do one a week show just because my show is suffering as far as quality was concerned because I spent so much time just generating content, not marketing it, not working with it. And that's kind of one of the things for your viewers out there. If they're thinking about doing the show, it's very easy to bite off more than you can chew, especially if you love doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the biggest problems I run into regularly is I'm like, I'm going to do a show once a day. And then I realize 2 months later that I haven't marketed one of my videos. So
yeah, when something is fresh, something else is dusty, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, big time. Look at girl. Oh, I'm gonna do the David thing. I'm gonna get it stuck here. Watch it. Did you do that the other day, David? I got stuck on your face. That sounds weird. David Oldenburg. Oh, you're unmuted, brother.
Okay, I was muted. You did. Mia totally hijacked my show for like 10 minutes. That was the only thing that people could see was your comment. Now, I'm talking. It was like, oh my gosh, how do I get Mia out of my show?
And speaking of wearing multiple hats, that's the tough thing. You guys know that anybody that does an HOA show, that was the day that Google decided it was not going to make any of the comments opaque, and so everything was transparent, and a lot of us were like having to hold up a piece of paper to do that, so it's always something. So listen, I'm going to get right into this because we have got a full panel today. Just to tell you a quick backstory of how we came up with this idea about wearing multiple hats is I posted a picture of a job site, and Chris, am I saying your name right, by the way?
It's close enough. Cloutier, actually.
Oh, man, who guessed that one? Not me.
Nobody.
Nobody at all. So Chris and I were, Chris commented on a job site post a picture that I posted, and I said, you know what, I think we need to do a show about, we've all got this persona on Google+, but a lot of us are doing a lot of different stuff. So I'm going to start with you, Chris. Let's talk about you, and welcome to the show, Chris Cloutier. Tell us about you, darling.
I'm just glad to be here, first of all. Thank you. I really am. I watch all you guys all the time, so it's quite nerve-wracking to be sitting here with you. But
you're doing good, darling.
Yeah, I seen your picture there, and it reminded me. I haven't done construction work in a few years, but it just reminded me of it. And then you brought up the mini hats thing, and then I think everybody got to thinking at that point. So it was fun,
All right. Tell me about your hats besides Cat in the Hat, brother.
Well, I'm a single dad, and he's 13 years old, and I've had him by myself since he was a year and a half. So that's like 3 hats right there. And, yeah. And I have some clients I do some SEO for and some writing like that.
You got your show too.
Oh yeah. I do the Fresh Coffee Show every Thursday with a buddy of mine, Nathaniel Brennis, and we talk about affiliate marketing and stuff like that. And then I have my blog. It's kind of a personal blog, talks about affiliate marketing and content marketing, SEO, all that stuff. And that's at Media Fresh Press. And beyond that, I mean, I play music. I mean, I do a little bit of everything.
I love it. I love it. And that is a ton of hats. I love that. And hi, Nathaniel, because he's awesome too. So let's give a shout out to your brother for that too. So that's about 7 hats. So we should keep a hat count.
Yeah.
Mom, dad, dad to that, playing music, doing the whole thing. So thank you for being on the show with us today, sweetie. I really appreciate it.
No, I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Next up, I'm going to go to Craig Chamberlain because he may not be around for long depending on what's going on. Hey, Brother Craig, welcome to the show.
Hi, Mia. How's it going?
Hey.
There's my daughter here.
Hi, girlfriend.
She wants to wear the hat. She keeps fighting me about wearing the hat. She's jealous. Because apparently only one person's allowed to wear a hat at any given time.
That is correct. You literally are going to have to duck down and just put her up because Bob Voss does it to me all the time too, or just put there.